This video was made with artificial intelligence.
The blockbuster transfer saga of the summer has reached its conclusion, with Brazilian superstar Neymar agreeing to leave Paris Saint-Germain after 6 successful but controversy-filled seasons. He will join Saudi Arabian club Al-HILAL in a deal worth up to £86 million. This brings an end to Neymar's time in the French capital, a rollercoaster period filled with sensational goals, injuries, disputes with teammates, and failure to deliver the Champions League trophy PSG's Qatari owners so desperately crave. Today I'll be providing an in-depth analysis of Neymar's impending exit. We'll break down how this transfer impacts PSG's future, what it means for Neymar's career, the rise of Saudi Arabian soccer, and more. There's a lot to unpack, so let's get started. First, what legacy does Neymar leave behind at PSG? The Brazilian arrived in 2017 as the most expensive transfer in history at £200 million and was meant to elevate PSG to the European elite. Though he delivered individually, PSG stagnated in the Champions League. In 6 seasons, Neymar scored a mammoth 118 goals in all competitions. His partnership with Mbappe and Di Maria produced fireworks, and he stepped up in big domestic matches. But injuries and controversies hampered his time in Paris. Neymar missed over 50 matches through injury at PSG. He earned a reputation as a partying playboy, clashing with bosses and teammates. Remember his dispute with Mbappe over who should take penalties? Most damaging was his failure to guide PSG beyond the Champions League semi-finals, often injured at crucial knockout stages. His determination to win the Balon D'Or also caused friction, so while Neymar's talent improved PSG, he failed to take them to the next level in Europe. At 31, with his powers waning, PSG finally decided it was time to move on. For PSG's owners, this transfer is a major reset moment. Despite over £1 billion spent on transfers and wages since their 2011 takeover, PSG only reached 1 Champions League final. Moving on Neymar's mammoth salary makes sense financially and pragmatically. Out go the Galacticos. In comes a more balanced approach. The arrivals of young talents like Ugarte, seasoned pros like Asensio, and strong defenders like Skriniar point to a team being built rather than a collection of superstars. PSG also want to move away from player power and dressing room divisions. With Neymar gone, Mbappe becomes the sole superstar, hopefully maturing into a true leader. Reinvesting Neymar's fee and wages into the next generation could make PSG stronger collectively. But losing his X-factor is undoubtedly a risk. At 31, Neymar exiting his prime years with his powers and pace declining. His injury record also makes this a sound financial move for PSG. For Neymar personally, this transfer to Al-HILAL represents one last massive payday. He'll earn around £25M per season for the next 2 years in Saudi Arabia. Of course, his priority was to stay in Europe and chase more Champions League glory. He likely hoped Pep Guardiola would sign him for Manchester City. But with his injuries and antics, top European clubs balked at the costs of signing him. Al-Hilal's offer was too good to refuse. Playing in the less demanding Saudi league, Neymar can showcase his flair while cashing checks. He could extend his career by years, but make no mistake, this is a step below Europe's elite level. The past year has seen an unprecedented influx of elite global talent into the Saudi Pro League on a scale never before witnessed in football. A veritable who's who of household names and world-renowned players have made big-money moves to clubs in Saudi Arabia, lured by immense contract offers. The signings include megastars like Cristiano Ronaldo, Karim Benzema, N'Golo Kante, and Sadio Mane, who need no introduction after their exploits at the pinnacle of the sport. They are joined by other top-tier talents, such as Roberto Firmino, Kalidou Koulibaly, Jordan Henderson, and Ruben Neves, along with promising emerging stars like Seko Fofana, Jota, and Alex Telles. In total, over a dozen internationally recognized superstar players and young prospects have arrived in the league. For Al-Hilal, this represents the latest statement signing as Saudi clubs spend huge sums to attract global stars. They recently signed Ruben Neves, Koulibaly, Malcolm, and now Neymar joins him to create a super dream team. These megastars will massively boost the Saudi League's worldwide profile. However, concerns remain that aging superstars like Neymar and Ronaldo are treating Saudi Arabia as a pseudo-retirement league rather than giving their best. Only time will tell if their signings move the needle on the pitch. But for now, Al-HILAL's capture of Neymar from under the noses of Europe's elite is a major coup. They are signaling Saudi Arabia's emergence as a new player in the transfer market. Neymar leaves PSG with 118 goals scored in 173 appearances. Unfortunately, injuries prevented him from fully realizing his potential there. He will be desperate to prove he's still an elite player in Saudi Arabia after criticism of his PSG stint. Expect Neymar to arrive hungry to entertain and bolster his Balon D'Or case. But he turns 32 next year. Can Neymar resist injuries and maintain focus in the Saudi League? PSG will hope their decision to move him on is vindicated. Internationally, Neymar will aim to lead Brazil to World Cup glory in 2026. So while Neymar says he feels young and motivated, he enters a new phase of his career that will test his longevity and commitment. Life in the Middle East is poles apart from Barcelona and Paris. And so the curtain closes on Neymar's eventful PSG career. The world's most expensive player leaves with 118 goals, countless highlights, but just as many headlines away from the pitch. Ultimately, both club and player needed a fresh start. PSG now have funds to build a new era under coach Luis Enrique focused on hungry, emerging talents. For Neymar, he secures one last mega contract in Saudi Arabia while pursuing the 2026 World Cup dream. But he exits Europe having failed to fully achieve Balon D'Or and Champions League glory his talent once promised. Love him or hate him, Neymar has been a polarizing figure. His individual brilliance never quite translated into team success at PSG. But he also suffered from injuries and clashing egos around him. This transfer saga finally concludes Neymar's chapter at PSG. A new path opens in Saudi Arabia and a new journey begins for PSG. The Neymar era is over. Now the future awaits both player and club. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video and want to see more soccer transfer news and analysis. Your support really helps the channel grow. Also, hit subscribe and ring the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Leave me a comment with your reaction to Neymar's move. I read every comment and appreciate the feedback. Thanks to all my viewers, I really appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next video, but until then, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with any Neymar or PSG fans you know.